Shonen rom-com's obsession with pairing up an average loser with a tall, pretty girl instead of making both attractive needs to be studied. Where to this user, it's a mystery to her why this is appealing, while to me it's obvious. This is how most guys feel. This is the average guy's experience. Overlooked, forgotten, invisible to the average girl, making them insecure, nervous, socially anxious. To where this scenario of this anime plot is like a fantasy and some type of escapism. It's no surprise that currently men are going through a crisis, dealing with a loneliness epidemic, opting out of society, choosing not to participate, told their innate masculinity is toxic, and just by their mere existence they serve as a poison to society, like it's an original sin by just being born male, rarely ever hearing an encouraging word in their life. So when reality is demoralizing, it's only natural they turn to fiction, hoping to find some rewarding narrative, any medium that doesn't 24/7 demonize them, where they can live out their desired fantasy, play as a character they aspire to be, or watch on screen a character that makes them want to be more. But what happens when even those become corrupted? Male catered to franchises co-opted by activists to be more feminized, because by current day standards, anything that's male dominated is seen as inherently evil.
And by the way, the women are always saving the men around here. You might want to think about changing the name to X-Women.
It's like men just aren't allowed to be themselves and have nice things that's overtly oriented towards men's interests. Whether it's video games or movies that are known for having a male lead are now sidelined by the girl boss that Hollywood is so fixated, persistent on shoving down the audience's throats to overshadow typical male franchises.
The power of many.
And when these properties fail miserably or just don't do as well compared to before, the same audience of men they so proudly call toxic are now the ones to blame for not showing up and now labeled as sexist, or any other word that's trendy nowadays. The prime example of this is Star Wars, perfectly demonstrating the hero's journey, something that naturally innately speaks to men that call to adventure, to want to be more, be the hero, something that so many seek out in video games. So when all of these Western properties that were damn near guaranteed successes get sucked up of any fun, genuine interest, turned inside out and are now unrecognizable, it's no surprise that they may go elsewhere, hence why anime has become so popular, a medium that is famous for catering to many tastes of stories. It doesn't matter what's your flavor, best believe there is a story or genre that will serve your interests and not shame you for it. And when it comes to males, shonen and seinen mainly fulfill that desire of storytelling that the West has completely forgotten. The hero's journey is a staple of storytelling that is still cherished and valued, that males can look forward to as an example of how to be. Stoicism is something that's upheld rather than frowned upon. Masculinity is something to be celebrated, not demonized and made to be synonymous with Satan or something. It's almost like these authors or mangakas have an appreciation for their male audience.
Think about that.
Rather than a hatred, throw it in your face, haha, I destroyed your favorite franchise. But if it's one thing that activists hate is when people have preferences and have options to choose from. So like the parasites they are now flocking to a new host, doing their best to corrupt Japanese Eastern media as a whole, not just anime or manga. And one tactic that is first done is to look down and frown upon whatever is serving mainly a male interests, like how this article does here. When it comes to anime, there's no genre, or more accurately, no demographic more popular than shonen, to the point that it almost feels egregious. That's a bit of a stretch in my opinion. It should only take watching a handful of shonen anime before the genre's flaws begin to emerge. Certainly among the most popular series, shonen suffers from a lack of well-written female characters, either in lead roles or even supporting positions. Now, this is a criticism I find that's very popular amongst journalists. You would think they're all part of the same group text bubble, having the same NPC talking points spewed out in many articles from different outlets. 10 anime girls who deserve so much better than they got. The way female characters in media are handled is always divisive, and anime is no exception. Like many stories, anime have a tendency to ignore their female characters in favor of the male characters, all of which is disappointing for anyone who ends up getting attached to them as they watch a certain show. Female characters have a long history of being wasted in anime. Wow, wow, okay. This is gonna be a little bit hard to get through. But sometimes it's far worse than simply a lack of focus. Between things like little to no character development, really, and character arcs that actively make them worse. Wow. Many female characters in anime are made some of the worst characters in their shows, even though they had plenty of potential to be some of the best. Gachi Akuda is fixing everything wrong with female characters in anime. The argument that female characters are never given a fair chance has been a long-running debate for years.
When?
My Hero Academia is criticized for not properly utilizing its female cast, and the women in Solo Leveling don't have much significance beyond being related to or crushing on Sung Jinwoo. Yeah, God forbid women have a crush on the male lead. The issue in the industry is that the quality and depth of main heroines are rarely ever extended to the female side characters of other anime, especially the shonen subgenre. Female supporting characters in anime are often either love interests, friends with little impact on the story, or are given potential that is never truly fulfilled. Now, without going any further, I hope you see a pattern here of talking points that I could honestly continue for the next 30 minutes, but I'll save you that time. And I'm sure many fans could easily debunk this claim that women are overlooked in anime.
Yup!
Hell, even in this article, they admit there are great anime that gives light to female leads, but I have noticed one thing. They all share this criticism within the realm of shonen. It's like they forgot what the purpose of shonen is and what it's meant to do, which is to cater to a male demographic.
Dumbass.
I wouldn't even label this lack of acknowledgement as something stupid, but really more nefarious or diabolical in some way. Like they're trying to subvert what shonen was intended for by playing stupid. Like, I wonder why shonen prioritizes male leads and focuses more on the male protagonist and his character development. Or another thing they despise is the damsel in distress narrative. Like, why does the woman have to be saved, making the man the savior, reducing a woman's role to a love interest, when that's something that men aspire to be, the hero and savior to the woman we love. It inspires us to be more, which is why it's something we automatically connect with when watching it on screen, and we can't help but cheer on the male character when viewing. As stated earlier, they view this as a flaw and not a feature of shonen. That's like me saying gay romance stories within Yuri or Yaoi are flawed for not putting more focus on straight heterosexual romance, but that's not something I would say because that sounds stupid. That's not the intention for the demographic that mainly consumes it. And even within shonen, they still get plenty of light to the supporting cast that happens to be female. Something that this article did praise Rio and Gachi Akuda for when she said, "Fuck the fair one, let's speed this up." And as Alex said, shout out to him, a regular in my live streams, she went G-Unit on that ass. But when they make it seem like there aren't other shonen that have women that can hold their own like this, one notably is Maki from JJK, just to name one easily from current day. It's like they recognize it as the story is glitching or something if the male protagonist is given more time than the female supporting cast, like implied here. Attack on Titan. Mikasa's attachment to Eren took away a big chunk of her character growth. Mikasa was a powerhouse in Attack on Titan until her obsession with Eren took over her entire arc. If good female characters are a myth for anime fans, Mikasa Ackerman is a mythbuster, or she could have been if it weren't for her butchered characterization. Damn that Eren for being the main character. It's not difficult to guess what weighed her down. Her dedication to Eren is an integral aspect of her story in Attack on Titan, which then takes over her entire character arc.
So?
All we needed was to see more of her and her conviction. Her weaknesses were understandable, but they should have been explored independently of Eren. Her entire arc shouldn't have been as reliant on him, and that would have helped a lot. It's like these people forgot the main point of a main character in a supporting cast. The story and plot is about the main lead and how the characters revolve around him. The whole point of Mikasa's obsession and love for Eren is the point that I won't spoil for the ending, but despite how strong and dominant of a character she is, it's like it's never enough for these journalists. Like I said, it's like they forgot the purpose of what shonen is for. Of course, Eren is going to ultimately dominate the story, but it's like any semblance of a male lead they see as an inherent flaw within it. These journalists even criticize anime and manga for targeting distinct demographics, as there's something wrong with that. Anime marketing strategies with a heavy-handed insistence on trying to target one gender over another are misinterpreting how anime fans relate to their favorite media. For example, even as popular as Solo Leveling is, fans criticize the anime's hyper-masculinity.
When?
And journalists really hate Solo Leveling, mainly because of how popular it is and how it embodies what I've said earlier, a guy aspiring to be more than what he currently is, becoming the hero, stoicism being displayed in every aspect, and masculinity, which they view as like voodoo or something, where they'll try to tear it down any chance they get. They even compared it to Frieren in this article, trying to degrade it in any way they can. Solo Leveling doesn't stand a chance after Frieren Season 2 finally starts. And in this whole article, they spend the whole time shitting on Solo Leveling in comparison to Frieren. Rather than being centered around a grand adventure or a single overpowered isekai hero, Frieren is a slow, quiet, introspective series that places its focus on character drama and philosophy. Frieren Season 2 will offer all the same greatness as Season 1, but with a new twist that's bound to completely humiliate Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling Season 3, if it ever comes out, will, by contrast, expose its entire series for the fraud it's always been.
What?
I mean, this journalist's hatred for Solo Leveling just bleeds out in this entire article. It's like they can only build Frieren up by tearing down Solo Leveling. Now, I believe Frieren is a superior story, but I would never compare it to Solo Leveling because the story that Solo Leveling is not intended to be like Frieren. It's like the Michael Bay of anime, just straight up action. That's its selling point, and it's pretty clear on that. What I watch Solo Leveling for is not what I watch Frieren for. Solo Leveling is when I would just want to watch a stoic main character dominate and get shit done. While Frieren, I look forward to a slow-paced story and a journey that takes its time. It's like comparing heavy metal music to lo-fi music. Why would I even do that? It's dishonest to even attempt that. But it highlights this journalist's disdain for Solo Leveling, especially when they discuss Chahan and how she's set up to be a love interest because, God forbid, again, a woman even be hinted at liking the main character. And this basically wraps up the point of this video. Can men at least have their interests of anime be delivered? Can a story like Solo Leveling exist where its main focus is action, an overpowered hero who gets shit done and is just cool as shit and makes no excuses about it, along with any other similar shonen type stories, where if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it? Can the medium of anime and manga, or in Solo Leveling's case manhwa, cater to different tastes? Solo Leveling can exist in a realm or world that has a Frieren or Apothecary Diaries. Can shonen maintain certain demographic as the way shoujo or josei or all the realms of the medium does? Men are going through a crisis because they're being conditioned to believe what they are and what they like must be eradicated, done away with, and be rid of. That having something that primarily serves their interests is inherently evil somehow, but everybody else can have their own thing. I even saw a post reacting to a trailer of a rom-com anime soon to release about a guy who's like a loser and beats this extremely hot girl, and they said, shonen rom-com's obsession with pairing up an average loser with a tall pretty girl instead of making both attractive needs to be studied. Where to this user, it's a mystery to her why this is appealing, while to me it's obvious. This is how most guys feel. This is the average guy's experience. Overlooked, forgotten, invisible to the average girl, making them insecure, nervous, socially anxious, to where this scenario of this anime plot is like a fantasy and some type of escapism. And already it's getting hate because the girl caters to the male gaze, which implies what men naturally find attractive. The feminine physique is somehow also evil, further contributing to the narrative that guys should not be allowed to have entertainment that caters to them, something that successfully has been implemented in the West, especially Hollywood, and is why I ask, can men at least have anime? But that's all I had for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. I already know there's going to be those who take this whole video and the point of it out of context, where I feel like I'll have to do a follow-up to it or something, but the point being, every time men naturally gravitate towards something, it must always be infiltrated to be diluted, turned into something that's less of what men like, and it seems to only go into that direction. Men need stories like the ones anime offer because where else in mass can they find them? And I hope Japanese creators continue to see the value in that. Also, if you haven't checked out my music, links in the description. If you love those Samurai Champloo lo-fi mellow boom bap vibes, then my music is definitely for you. And if you want to support me and the content I create, consider joining my channel. Becoming a member is much appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think. Peace.